back, y'all. We're back in full effect, season 2 on Uncomfortable Growth Podcast. If you guys are now watching us or listening to us, my name is Peggy.
And I'm Jessica.
But if you haven't listened to season 1, you need to, because there might be an occasion where we might have a part 2 from one of our episodes from the last season. So if you haven't, please do.
And you get to learn a little bit about us
more
before you
better.
Start, season 2.
And judging us and whatnot.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, we're back in full effect. We're ready for this season. As you guys can see, a whole different setting. You're not just hearing our voices. You're actually seeing us visually. A lot of you guys asked, hey, are you going to do like a YouTube channel?
New
aesthetics, as you guys can see.
If you've seen the struggle for season 1, you'd be like, wow, upgrade.
We literally started from the bottom.
Upgrade.
Literally. But yeah, this of course was supposed to be recorded hours ago. There's a lot of headaches with the whole getting 2 mics to work at the same time. Look, I'm not an engineer, I'm not a musician, I don't do music, I don't rap. I know I use my hands a lot, but I don't do none of that. So we both had to figure it out. Thank God for YouTube University.
YouTube University has saved lives, okay?
Lots of lives. And it saved ours. Because I was ready to cry yet again. Because I'm like, I'm over this. Maybe you can figure it out when I leave. Like, Jessica was ready to I'll play around with it.
She has a dinner date, guys.
Cute
well, I'm going to order takeout for myself.
Quick date with Bay or whatever. But yeah, it was a struggle. Because last season we were literally speaking off of one mic because we couldn't figure it out.
So bad.
But we made it work because our quality was pretty decent.
Yeah, exactly. It's just going to get better as time goes, right? Like, the aesthetics are going to be better, the guests, the speakers, the topics are going to be better. It's just going to gradually get there.
As time goes on, we will get better.
I'm here for the growth, because uncomfortable growth.
Some updates.
Okay, I'll start. Jessica did not find a therapist. No, she didn't. I am very much a procrastinator, as Peggy knows this, because yesterday she was in here helping me with the foams. She was helping me with everything because she knew. And I had a banging headache yesterday, so I was just like, I'm going to do it myself. And she's like, no, the fuck you're not. And I'm going to sit here and help you. So thank God for her. But I did take a week off for mental health. I was just in a really funky space. And I didn't have anywhere. Wasn't planning to go anywhere. It was kind of like a staycation. Did a lot of nothing, but I also did a lot of like organizing my mind, my space. And just getting all that together. And I speak with my cousin all the time. She's like my soulmate. And she mentioned, and I mentioned to her from a podcast that I listened to about 75 Day Hard. So it basically tackles your physical, mental, and emotional space in for 75 days. So there's things that you have to do for your mental, there's things that you have to do for your emotional and physical health. And so when I read off what the requirements were, because for 75 Day Hard, you have to do it every day consistently for 75 days. And if you miss one thing, one day, you have to start back from day 1. Like, you don't get to let me just add an extra day. Like, no, you have to start back to 0. So she was like, that's a little aggressive. And those things are not something that I would want to do for 75 days straight. So we sat together and we were on the phone and we spoke about curating our own 75 Day Hard. So I have things that I'm going to tackle mentally, emotionally, and physically. But I'm going to do that after the holidays because the physical part requires that you eat healthier. And I'm just not skipping out on Thanksgiving and Christmas. Like, no, what the fuck?
And them holiday parties?
Exactly. So I'm going to start fresh in the new year. I know I can hear my best friend right now. If you know it, you got to do it now, then why don't you do it now? Because I don't want to do it now. So there's that.
Stupid. A few updates. I officially graduated last weekend, crossing the stage with my master's in education.
Whoop whoop! We don't have a soundboard, but I'll do that for her.
So I finally, I was done since the end of August, and they were trying to figure out how graduation, because people who graduated, who were done in April, that were supposed to graduate in May, couldn't graduate because we're still dealing with COVID. COVID has not gone away.
No.
But trying to figure out where is it supposed to be, because I guess they have a different location where they usually do it, but this time around we was on a baseball field in New Hampshire, Manchester, New Hampshire. We had it outside. I'm like, hell yeah, I want to cross this. Granted, I didn't really cross the stage. I crossed home plate to get my degree, but that was already sent to me by mail. So, but whatever. That was still an accomplishment for me. I already told people I'm done with school. I like school. I know a lot of people may not like school, but I like school because I choose the courses that I want to advance myself in my career.
Yeah.
But, you know, I get it, school's not for everybody. But, you know, even though I got a degree, I'm not going to knock someone else who chose not to go to school. And someone who didn't go to school to get a degree shouldn't knock someone who decided to go to school and up their education. You know, we shouldn't knock each other for doing the opposite things. But
at the end of the day, if I'm not begging you for money, don't concern yourself with
exactly
what I'm doing.
So, like my dad would say, exactamundo, even though that's probably not a word. But yes. And then end up having to get a new car. I already told myself after I was done getting my master's, I wanted to get a new car. But not right away, and I guess my car felt the type of way, and my car decided to act up on the highway.
She's like, this is where the road ends.
Literally on the highway, started shaking, check engine light started flashing. Thank God for AAA.
She was mad dramatic too when I talked to her. Dramatic.
No, also on my way to work, like school's about to start, and I had to go set up my classroom, and I'm in Brockton, like I'm nowhere near Boston.
Mm-hmm. Traffic's crazy.
And luckily traffic wasn't getting too crazy yet because school didn't open up fully for everyone yet. But I'm happy it happened that Tuesday instead of Thursday, the first day of school. So I had to scramble around. Luckily, my friend picked me up. I had AAA come get my car. This is why I tell people, anyone with a car, get AAA. Don't bother anyone to call AAA for you. I mean, if you feel the type of way about what I'm saying, that's probably you. But it's literally $52 for the whole year. For the year. You're not paying for it monthly. I'm just, you know, side.
You spent $52 on Uber Eats on one day meal.
Yeah, so get it. It's worth it. At any given time, space where you're at, they can come help you with, you know, flat tire, battery, gas if you run out of gas. They're really good for that. So yeah.
We're not getting promoted for AAA. So
we're not promoting AAA, but I'm just saying, get one if you have a car. But yeah, had to get a new car. That's my new baby now. I love it, but it was like, damn, so abruptly, like, thank God for my cousin, because my car broke down on Tuesday, and by Saturday, I was in my new whip.
Drug deal money.
No drug deal money. We're not promoting drugs. No drug deal money. But yeah, school year started, you know, still dealing with COVID, face masks every day. There's just, honestly, the working conditions are kind of ghetto. We're in the old elementary school. I'm not going to say where, but some of you guys probably saw my school on the news a couple weeks ago. My window's literally facing Blue Hill Ave, and every 2 to 3 minutes I have to pause my lesson because the kids cannot hear me because one, face mask, windows open.
Oh yeah, you guys have to keep the windows open.
Yes, for ventilation.
So
I don't know
what
how.
happens during the winter? You know,
I was told it still has to stay open during the winter. I'm like, good luck with that. I am not teaching with a full coat on, and we know how brutal our winters can get. And you know, those windows don't have any screens. They just have the grate to prevent people from falling out. And bugs fly in all the time, and I'm like, no. It's just a lot. So far this school year has been a lot. I'm not gonna go into much detail with my mental health piece. I'm gonna wait a little bit longer for certain reasons. I'll wait a little longer. I'll wait a few weeks and then I'll go in why.
Yeah.
But a lot has happened. I'm really happy. I can honestly say there's been a lot of blessings for me this year that I honestly wasn't expecting. And at one point I thought like, yo, like I've been doing this for how long and nothing's happening, blah blah blah. But I can actually say I'm happy. There's a lot lifted off of my shoulders. Like no more schooling for me. Like I don't have to rush and go do homework, sit behind a computer. Because literally teaching behind a computer for 8 hours, then taking a break really quickly for an hour or so to go right back onto the computer to do my work for my own school and stuff. So it was a lot, and I'm glad it's over. I did 1 year fast track because I'm like, I'm not about to do this for 3 years. I want to be done. So I'm glad it's done because I probably would have gave up halfway, honestly.
Honestly, I would have done the same.
But that's a little bit of update of what's going on so far. That's happened so far in our little hiatus.
We also turned another year older.
Oh yeah.
Wiser.
Yes, I turned a milestone 35, y'all.
Yes, I'm 34.
She's right behind me.
I don't. At first, when I first turned 34, like when it was my birthday, I didn't feel any different. But as the days have gone, I was like, holy shit.
Your knees feel it though.
Wow. Oh my God, my knee has been crazy. Like, bitch, we can't do it no more. We can't.
I swear, every year I get older, my body does something to remind me you're getting older. I'm like, thanks, I know. Exactly. So a lot of regimens that you wasn't doing before when you was 29, you got to do now because your skin don't do the same things. Your knees don't do the same things. So it's like, I ain't got time for this.
Literally, if I like squat down to grab something, crack and popple.
All right, Rice Krispies.
Rice Krispies, for real. Like it's so bad. Well, I did have like an accident where my knee was compromised for a little bit. And that was at 22, 23 maybe. So during that time, like, I was like, I could bounce back. But now my body's like, oh yeah, you know,
slow down.
Your trial is ended. You no longer got your back.
Your subscription has ended. Figure out.
So you got to deal with the residual pain that we've been trying to protect you from. So that's what I'm going through. But yeah, no, it's been.
I like my 30s now. I already started thinking like, shit, 5 years, I'm gonna be 40.
Yeah, that's what
I've already accepted the fact that we honestly will look the same, but when
I might have more gray hairs, but that's it.
But the craziest thing though, when we do look back at pictures that we took this year, 5-6 years from now, we're gonna notice some differences, a little bit.
One for me is gray hair, like
probably more gray hairs, probably some aging lines at 40. I don't fucking know. Cause we smile a lot, we laugh a lot. So like the laugh lines, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna keep laughing. Laughing actually keeps you younger. That's why we don't look like our ages. Yeah. But anyways, before we go on a tangent here, we want to keep this short and sweet for you guys, just to get you guys prepared for this season. But for season 1, we wanted to recap on some season 1 stuff. So
season 1, wow. Where do I start? First off, we talk so fucking fast, like a mile a minute, and it's funny to me because I guess I'm used to it because my whole family talks really fast. But as I was listening back, and I'm not necessarily comparing, but just like I pay attention to a lot of other podcasters and like what they do, and I was just like, wow, like they're just so like they're like soft and whatever. Oh fucking well, I'm not changing how I talk. Like I'm gonna be talking fast.
I try to talk slow, and
it don't work.
The first few
my
minutes
brain
of us,
can't compute.
we just stopped. We just started talking fast. Like guys, anyone who knows me, most of my friends know I talk fast.
I don't know if it's a bilingual thing too.
Maybe because when I speak Creole, I speak a little fast too. Even though my parents be like slow down, I'm like I don't know. I'm sorry. It's not intentional. It's really not intentional because I don't realize it, and I tell my students like, if I'm talking too fast, please let me know because I will do my best to slow it down, or I'll just come to you and repeat it because I don't realize how fast I'm talking. And they're probably just standing there like, yo, my teacher talks way too fast. But we talk fast, and I think part of it is we have big lips too. And sometimes they one of my old roommates was telling me how like people with bigger lips sometimes the way the words sound coming out your mouth sound different from someone with thinner lips or whatever. So there's certain things when I play back certain things, I'm like, I didn't even know I sounded like that. I didn't realize the words coming out would sound like that.
Let's talk about not only that. When I was listening back to stuff, I was like, this bitch thinks she's slick. I didn't even hear her say that.
Say what?
It was only like 2 or 3 episodes you said
something. I threw shade or something.
It's shade, but I just kept talking over it, and then I listened back. I'm like, oh, this bitch. But it's fine. That's how we talk to each other always. And I will say, after listening to season 1, I realized I'm still very much uncomfortable talking about my personal shit because I was cringing when I was listening to it. Like it's still really uncomfortable for me.
Uncomfortable.
I know that, but I'm just saying, like I was just the wordplay on the title was more so just like telling you guys about our uncomfortable experiences, but I still find myself being uncomfortable talking about certain things, and I'm just like, I think it's because I'm still a private person.
No, we're still very much private. Like, I'm surprised I'm even bold enough to speak on certain things because only people who really know me, like know me for years, and like not know me for years and we're just like high and by, knowing me for years, we hung out, I've been to your house, you've been to mine, we talk. Like, when we have our girl talks, like, know some shit I've been through. I don't just openly, willy-nilly do it. But the thing is, it's like, when I hear the feedback for some people, and as a sidebar, guys, I do have braces, and you might hear a little lisp. So don't call me brace face. Don't do that.
You're hiding behind the mic, so I
don't do me like that. And some people can notice, some of my close friends notice the difference in my speaking. Don't do that, because I'm a grown woman. And it's not only for aesthetics reasons that I got it. It's because of my mental health. It was for a health reason. That's the reason why I got it. Because, I was getting niggas with these gaps. So, but I am in a happy, committed relationship, y'all. Just But I'm just saying. But I just wanted to throw that out there in case you hear like, yo, she got lists. Like, I never had one. It's because of the braces. It's hard to enunciate some words.
She's hiding behind the mic.
And I'm hiding behind the mic. You can't really see my mouth. But the other thing is too, some people came to us and said like, yo, like, you know, I went through the same thing, and the fact that you guys are comfortable enough to say made me feel like, okay, I've been through that too.
Yeah.
And that's the thing, as humans, we forget, like,
we're not the only ones.
We're not the only ones going through something. It may be a little bit different. It might feel a different based on where you're growing up at. But for the most part, a lot of people have said, yo, I went through the same thing. And honestly, I think it was like 5 or 6 people in total had said like, are you guys gonna add visual? Yeah. It's like, if you guys do a YouTube video, I'm down to watch it because I can put it on my TV and go about, like, move around and stuff like that.
Let's just talk about that first off. I'm okay with the visual part, but the reasoning for some people as to why they want the visual doesn't make any sense to me. Like, they want to play it and kind of continuously do their errands.
Like, don't you want to look
But,
at
like,
it?
that's the same thing with, like, just listening to the podcast. Like, throwing your AirPods and continue to do the things that you need to do throughout the day. Visual means you have to sit there and physically watch us.
Yeah.
So please don't make me do all this editing, and y'all not watching us.
Yeah.
So
don't waste our time.
Don't waste our
time. Time is precious for me. Right. And the work that we have to go through to get all these things into place, Lord. But the fact that a lot of you guys responded back to us, and the fact that you had male friends said like the vulnerable as fuck episode. Yes. That one we're definitely gonna do a part 2, and we're gonna have the male perspective on this, because our podcast is really from our perspective and how we move around in the world as Black women, how we interact with Black men, and probably the white spaces we have to go into. So our experience is going to be different from a male perspective. Because men are viewed, especially Black men.
Women are more expected to be more emotional and vulnerable. Men are more like strong, like whatever. Like that's how it's always been. So vulnerability is a huge thing for men. Yeah.
So, and not just a vulnerable episode, like in general, like there's certain topics we're going to discuss we want the male perspective. So any of our male friends watching, you know it's on a personal level because we're not going to get randoms over here. We definitely would like you guys to be guest speakers because we want your input, because your experience as a Black man in this country is totally different from ours, but we understand it. Yeah. We understand it, we get it as Black women. So that's why we definitely want more male input, more guys watching us and getting the perspective from you guys too, because our experience is different from yours. But honestly, I liked all of the episodes because when I haven't sat down to listen season 1 through 10 all over again, back to back, but every single time I would play it, there's certain parts, even though I know we recorded it, I know what part was going to come up, I still laughed. Different. I still laughed at the parts that we were initially laughing at when we first did it. It's like the fact that we can still laugh about it when you listen to it. Yeah. I was like, that's what I like about it.
100%, because I definitely laughed listening to it. And it's so funny because then I'll get people like, yo, you and Becky are so stupid. Y'all are so crazy. Especially like the thin crust and cheese stuff episode. Like, so episode 10 and episode 2 are like always the ones that people like reach out to me like, yo, you guys are crazy. I'm gonna stick beside him. Like, don't let us make a fool of ourselves. Like, I know we're not the only ones that have done some silly stuff for the men or women.
You know what's so funny? I just realized, like, with all my friends, I have like a few set of friends where I'm like, if people were to either read our text messages or watch us from like from the corner of the room, like, yo, these girls are dumb. Like, y'all have jobs, like y'all have professional lives, like y'all act stupid like this. Yeah. And low-key, I have a few special coworkers that I act stupid with at work, and I'm like, I don't even know how I've been working here for this long. I don't even know. But no, I feel like our podcast for me was like, and still is like an outlet for me, because honestly, when we didn't record for the first week, I'm like, it felt weird. Like, I'm so used to doing it consistently.
I was like, Monday, I was like rushing to get home from work because I'm like, Peggy's gonna come over. Let me see what I have in my fridge so that she can eat, because God knows she always goes to my refrigerator. But then I realized, like, oh my God, she's not coming over today. And then, like, I think it was like 2 weeks of that. And then I was like, okay, this is normal. And then now I'm sure, now that we're recording season 2, my expectation is to see you every week and then record. So. Yeah. And a lot of my friends don't even have that privilege to just see me every week.
Child, your friends would love to be me.
Yeah, I'm so annoyed.
But no, for real, like, I like the fact that we would kind of randomly choose a topic and kind of start writing it out, like with the plans. And no lie, guys, like some topics might be random, but we wanted to, like, if one of our listeners and now soon to be viewers were to give us an idea, like maybe your next topic should be blah 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 blah, that's when we probably switch it up. But for the most part, we have a jar. We keep all the topics we do, and then we shake it up.
Like just today alone, we
a
had
few
2
topics came up, and we wrote them on a piece of sticky note, folded it, and then throw it in the jar. When it's time to choose it, we shake it up, and then that will be our next topic or whatever. Yeah. And that's what we'll do. We'll write it down, start taking notes. We'll do a little bit of research behind it, whether it's our own experience, and that's why we would go on our IG page, our socials, and say, hey, anyone, we want people to be comfortable. Yes. Like, the thing is, we're not sharing your information. We just say one
sharing
of our
your
listeners.
Experience,
yeah, we're only sharing the experience. Only you would know who it is. We would know who it is. Yeah. But no one else would know who it is unless one of your friends that are close to you and they're listening to our podcast. They might be like, hey, that sounds like such and such, but who knows? But we will never share any of our information because we don't want to just be talking about our own experiences. We want to be able to share our listeners and soon to be viewers' experiences as well. So we want to know, like, if anyone ever had to deal with this particular issue or whatever, just know that after a while, I don't like keeping evidence and stuff. So if you were to DM us something and we're done talking about it, it will be deleted.
It's a safe space for us.
And it's a safe space.
Yeah, like, I'm no one to judge anyone and their experiences. I might disagree with you. I may be like, oh, you know, I had that same experience, but never at any point will I judge you for your choices. Now, if your choice is something that's a negative experience and you continuously do that, yeah, I'm judging you. But, like, because I'm all for growth. Like, don't let one experience hinder you from growing or learning from that experience and moving forward. But if you're just like, I'm content with this, even though you know it's wrong, that's a problem for me. But I would never judge you. I may not agree with you, though.
None of us are perfect, actually. No one is.
Yeah, exactly. I definitely don't try to be perfect.
No one's perfect.
I feel like if you're perfect, you have no room for growth, and that's whack as fuck. So.
Yeah.
But, yeah, we just wanted really just to give you the visuals, recap season 1. We don't want to live in season 1 because obviously we want to move forward onto bigger and better things. But there are some topics that we did address in season 1 that we would love to create a part 2 for. So we'll do that for sure. We have and will reach out to people for guests.
As guest speakers. So you'll be seeing messages, probably DMs from us from our page itself. And if you'd like to be a guest speaker, you can definitely email us at uncomfortablegrowthpodcast@gmail.com or Uncomfortable Growth Podcast on IG
and Facebook,
and same writing on Facebook as well. So if you have an idea, you want to be a guest speaker, just throw it in our inbox so we can have an idea, and then you have to let us know like what you're really into, because if you want to be a guest speaker, but we haven't. You don't know a specific topic. You want to hit a specific topic? Let us know, because we might look into it to see if we already have a topic that we wrote in our jar and be like, oh yeah, sure, you can definitely come through, and we'll give you more than enough time to prepare for the topic. And it's literally, as you guys can see, we go with the flow and stuff, and we bounce off of each other. We would love to have guest speakers and get other people's ideas.
I mean, we could talk all day, really. I'm trying to cut it short for Peggy because she has a dinner date.
Don't blame me. We've been at this since what?
Oh my God, today has been a day, and it started from yesterday.
Oh yeah, since yesterday. So
yesterday, it was crazy. I didn't sleep all night because I kept thinking about like all the things I had to do today. So I've been up since like in my sleep I was like, okay, Jessica, make sure you get up at this time because you have to get ready to go here. You want to get to the store first thing in the morning, like, and then you gotta make sure you get back at this time because you have, you know, this.
That's me. I do the same thing.
But this is all in my sleep, legitimately.
Oh God.
But as far as season 2 is concerned, if you're watching this, please like, subscribe.
Oh yeah, big YouTubers now. Who would have thought? But yes, definitely like and subscribe to our page, y'all. And what I was going to say, you know, always we gotta shout out a business.
Yes.
A business, as always. That's our go-to. Yes.
Okay.
Every episode we try to shout out a business that we use or a business that we've been following. We like their work and we want to shout them out. But this week's business shout out is the Regulars. The owner of that IG page is Cav. He actually does video production, like short clips of your event, of functions. He's done my boyfriend's birthday brunch. He's done other events. He's done my other friend's niece's sweet 16 recently. He just did my birthday.
We actually uploaded Peggy's birthday video, so you'll see it on our IG page.
Yes.
So you'll see the quality.
You see the quality.
He is
the transitions
very
are immaculate.
meticulous. He's very particular. And the videos come out like perfect. Like,
yes.
It couldn't have been better.
So if you're trying to follow him, it's at
he
the Regulars.
He did our commercial for us, so you'll be seeing that before you see this, of course. And so yeah.
Okay, so it's at the Regulars. THEREGULAZ. Okay?
Regulars.
So, Regulars. Not regular. The Regulars.
But we'll also tag him in the post when we do post. So, yeah. I mean, there's other things that we've added into season 2, but that would be more so when we have guests or when we have a topic that we would like to address, so that we have segments and whatever and so forth. But yeah, no, we appreciate you guys listening and giving us great feedback. Please tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to watch us.
Yes.
And I think we're gonna end that
with the quote.
So, like we always do, please give us the grace and space. Give yourself and give us this grace and space to grow. Right? I think we put too much emphasis on like timestamps, and I feel like everyone's experience is different, and with that difference, timestamps are non-existent. So give yourself, give us, give the people around you the space and grace to grow. And with that being said, peace,
y'all.
Bye.